The war, at last, was ended.
Our days of peace begin.
We thought our joys would be unending. We thought our light would never dim.
The skies are strange.
It is here, Galadriel. The moment we feared.
Evil does not sleep. It wakes.
Beyond the darkness, a tempting shadow to bury us all beneath the mountain.
He has not one name, but many.
Find the light, and the shadow will not find you.
Together we can survive this!
Fight with me.
Each of us must
Hi, I'm Timothy Marwun from Indonesia. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Hey,
Hi, Timothy.
So thanks for joining me today. I'm just going straight because we're so eager to wait for the show, and we've all come to love the Middle Earth saga. Now, the series, what we know is it's set thousands of years before the events that we know of the Lord of the Rings. Now, where can you tell us, the fans, exactly where the series takes place and the whole connection to Tolkien's mythology?
So, as you said, we're thousands of years before the Third Age when those adventures take place. Yes.
Okay.
And the great sort of epic story of the Second Age is woven throughout Tolkien's books. It's sort of the backstory to the adventures of the Bilbos and Frodos of Middle Earth. And we reckon that was a really fertile terrain to try to adapt a show from, because some of the most beloved characters in Tolkien are still alive. Elrond and Galadriel in younger form. Yeah. Gil-galad, who's like a legendary canon character that audiences have been, readers have been hearing about. Sauron is the physical villain of the Second Age, and at some point in the journey of the show, he'll appear.
That's good to know.
Yeah, but it was very important to us that the show was not sort of an appendage to some other body, but rather, was sort of a complete work in and of itself. And we thought that this story, as we saw it and read it in the pages of Tolkien's wonderful books, felt like it could be a story that felt complete and whole and new, hopefully for most viewers. So the first season of this show is really about introducing Middle Earth at a very different time in its history. The elf kingdom and dwarf kingdoms are vibrant. They're at the height of their civilization. We're going to take audiences to the island kingdom of Numenor, the greatest kingdom of men that ever existed. But there's also the men of Middle Earth who live under sort of much more humble setting. We have Harfoots in our show who are ancestors of the hobbits. They're many, many years from discovering and founding the Shire. So they're sort of earlier, more primitive, wilder, nomadic form of hobbit. So part of the joy, hopefully, for audiences is discovering Middle Earth anew, hopefully. But hopefully it feels familiar.
So a lot of familiar things we love, but a lot of new things we should be excited of. So that sounds good to me, to be honest. So Lindsay, Patrick mentioned a couple of names that we're familiar with, but who are the new characters that we should focus on in the series?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. So we have 22 series regulars in season 1. There are some incredible returning characters, as Patrick said, and there are some that you'll meet for the first time in this show. I suspect, I'd be willing to wager fans will really like Durin and Disa, are dwarves. There are some incredible Numenorians that I think people will really enjoy meeting, who will go on a great adventure. I could go on and on. There's a lot of them.
Well, maybe, I would just, just to single out a pair. We were talking about the Harfoots. There's two original characters, well, several original characters in that world, but, in some ways the story turns on this incredible female friendship between Nori, played by Markella Kavanagh, and, Poppy, played by Megan Richards, these two amazing young actors who've, created this sort of female friendship that feels lived in and real and authentic. And they're original characters, but they're really coming from, I think, our reading and those actors' reading of what the kind of spirit and soul of a Hobbit is in a way. And we think audiences are going to fall in love with them. We can't wait for you to meet them.
All right, we can't wait to meet them. Now, last question. I think that's all I have time here, but I'd like to know from both of you. Now, I'm sure the millions, if not billions, of Lord of the Rings fans have high expectations about the series. Now, on the scale of 1 to 10, how much does this sentence stress you out?
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Good question. Gosh, I don't know where to go. You got an idea on this?
Billions is the billions question?
I will gently, respectfully sidestep your question, because, I think. First of all, as storytellers, we're incredibly excited that there are people who are looking forward to this show. That's where, as a storyteller, you want to be. And in terms of the pressure, there's nothing that could put more pressure on us than the pressure we put on ourselves because of how much we revere and love this work. And by the work, I mean the books it's based on, not the show we've made. But we just hope that if that many people indeed do tune in, they'll see something that hopefully feels like a labor of love and something that feels like Middle Earth.
I think that's right. It is intimidating, certainly, but it also is an opportunity in that we, as fans, we believe there are other fans who long to return to Middle Earth just as much as we did. And I hope that they see we have done it with as much love and care as a group of people could, and have done our best to be as true to Tolkien and what he wrote and envisioned. And I hope they enjoy it. I hope they enjoy coming back, because we certainly have enjoyed being there, making it.
Yeah. You're looking at a fan here. So thanks so much. And we're waiting, and we would love to love your series. Thanks, Patrick. Thank
you so much.
Good luck on the show. Tim from Indonesia, how are you guys?
Hi, very good.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we're so excited for all the characters, the known ones and the new characters. Now, very shortly, everyone, could you please just tell us a little about your character in the series? Lloyd, probably we could start.
Okay, my name's Lloyd, and I play Elendil, who is, if you know your Tolkien history, he is Aragorn's 38th great-great-great-great-grandfather. Where we find him at the beginning of this series is he's a sea captain. He's a very capable man, but he's reeling from the loss of his wife. He's a widower, so he's trying to bring up his adult children, and we're all suffering from that loss and that grief. He's trying to have a quiet life in the capital city of Numenor, but he slowly gets dragged into the politics of Numenor. So it's a battle between his head and his heart, where he wants to stay safe and keep the family safe. And Numenor is right on the precipice, moving between a sort of a polarization in society. And he's trying to chart a safe course through that. And that polarization and that schism begins to be reflected within the family and amongst his children. So it's a very difficult place that he finds himself in the beginning.
Interesting intakes. Megan?
I'm Megan, and I play Poppy Proudfellow. She is a cautious and observant Harfoot. She is Nori's best friend, and they are very much the yin to each other's yang. She is, when you find her in the series, she's sorry, what was your question? Did you just want that?
Yeah.
Great, cool.
Just to get to know.
I'm aware that you've only got 7 minutes, so
exactly. Nazanin, let's go on with you.
Okay. I'm Nazanin. I play Bronwyn. She's a Southlander, human from the Southlands. She's a healer. She's a single mother to a rebellious teenage son in a forbidden romance with Arondir, an elf who is tasked with watching over the Southlanders, because the Southlanders, historically, her ancestors, Bronwyn's ancestors, chose the side of evil over good, and she is determined to redeem them.
Oh, cool.
Fast
very good.
Great.
I can't beat that. I'm Charles Edwards. I play Celebrimbor, who is the Lord of Eregion, where he is known not only as their ruler, but as the most famous
elven craftsman other than his grandfather Feanor. And we discover him at a time when he's trying to reconcile what he believes are his creative shortcomings, looking for something. He's on the hunt for the next big thing in terms of his creative output.
Okay, so who do you guys think got the best character name?
Character name.
Yeah.
I pretty much.
Proudfellow is it?
Poppy Proudfellow is the best.
Yeah, that's
the
alliteration.
Yeah.
And it's got history.
Yeah,
I do like that. But yeah.
So, during the casting, did you guys know who you were casting for? During that process, did you know, Megan?
No, I didn't. My casting process was surprisingly easy. But yeah, so I basically got an audition and I just went into the room, and I didn't know what the audition was for. At the time it was called Untitled Amazon Project. Yeah, so I just went in, and then a month later I got the call that I got the job. And even then I didn't know what character I was playing. I was told that it was Lord of the Rings, but I only knew what character I was once we got to New Zealand. And I think it was like my second day, had a meeting with JD and Patrick, the showrunners, who told me about Poppy and her history and her character arc. But yeah, that was kind of, so it was strange kind of landing in, the other side of the world for me.
So it's exciting to know that you're joining Lord of the Rings. But, looking at the cast, the set, the whole setting of New Zealand, Nazanin, could you take us through how it felt? Did it feel like you were in a different world, looking at all the costumes, all the makeup and everything?
Yeah, it was transformative to be in New Zealand in particular, because it was so majestic. The landscape there is, you genuinely feel transformed into, and transported to a fantastical world. That's constantly shifting. The light changes everything. Sunset and sunrise are completely different, and the landscapes shift. And I had the good fortune of traveling across New Zealand in my downtime, and I feel very indebted to both the people of New Zealand and the country.
So we're so excited to see the series. I wish I had more time. Thanks so much for all your time, Nazanin, Lloyd, Charles, Megan. Success for the whole series. See you guys.
Thank you very much. Nice to talk to you.
Bye-bye.